everybody. This is David Gray. I'm here doing a little Patreon live stream number 2. So today we are working on, let's see, we got some night insects. Night insects. Working on the night bugs. Okay. Let me see. So we've got a variety of recordings that I just did last night. I did these with just a single microphone. At about 2 in the morning. It was super buggy out. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm working in Soundtrack Pro again because it's easy. Basically. It's easy. It's not very demanding on the processor. And, you know, it's decent. I'm not going to say it's the best, but let me just set this up so I have this recorded. Night insects. So we have a place to export stuff when we finish it. Alright. So what I'm planning on doing is turning all these green guys here into their individual effects and then combining a couple of them, doing different sections. As you can tell, this close cricket here. We got pretty close to the little buddy. So we've got a couple different options there. Oh, I should probably solo that. That'll be less painful to your ears. Sorry. Yeah, that's better. So we got really close to that little guy. So we've got a couple different options here of what we can play with. And I'd like to combine them into a couple different ambiences or different longer effects. It's really nice because this will be really good to loop because they're very repetitive. And the only thing I've done so far, processing-wise, let me just turn them all on and deafen everything again. So the only thing that we've done so far, processing-wise, let me turn my mic up just a tiny bit. That's better. That's better. You can probably hear me quite a lot better now. Okay, I had everything down just for that intro section. So, yeah, all I've done so far is just done a quick limiter, really quick compression, and really quick raising the noise floor of all these puppies so that we can work with them better. So let's start with this cricket guy. Looks like we got some movement here, or wind. Sounds like mic movement. So let's just kill that right now. And we're probably gonna have some in between. Yeah, it looks like it. These more jaggedy sections. So when I was moving closer, it was very quiet out that night, so you can hear every little thing. Let's cut that chunk out, and looks like this is the next one. Yep. Handling noise. Even when you have a good shock mount, when you got it turned up as loud as it is, handling noise is always there. Just for reference, I recorded all these guys on a Rode NTG1 shotgun with a DR100 at like close to maxed out gain because it was very quiet that night. So there's not a great signal to noise ratio because I had to have the gain so high, but I think that we'll be able to polish this off. I keep doing that. Just quit it. Okay, so let's take a minute and think about what we have for this first section in the background. I'm just looking at my levels. It looks like the sound is not cooperating. And I'm really not sure why. One moment. Okay. Well, actually, it is cooperating. It's just super quiet. So let me fix it real quick here, and this should work a little better. It's still really quiet, as you can tell from here. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is throw this guy. Let's throw that switch up. That's better. Now we're between, what, -12? Okay, that's not bad. You know, I think you guys can probably hear that. Sorry. Let's take a moment here and get back on track. Sorry about that. It looked like my audio output was all wonky for a second there. Alrighty. So we got our singular cricket here, and we've got, it sounds like we have some, like there's an air conditioner in the background or something. Yeah. So let's go ahead and, first of all, we're gonna throw an EQ on. Let's get a look at the frequency. This is just a good idea to do in general, and I'm using Apple's built-in EQ because, hey, it works. It works. It's not the best, but it's not the worst by far. Got a lot of this low end that I don't think has any value for us. So let's throw this high pass on there. Does that have any value to us? Oh, it looks like we didn't cut it off soon enough, but for that handling noise. You know, I really don't think that has any value for what we're working on here. So let's throw a shelf on top of that. So let's cut off everything about, yeah, close to, let's go closer to 85. And throw this guy down. Now we don't want to damage like this mid-range stuff. Unless we want, we could make it just a super isolated little cricket. I don't think that's what we want to do here, though. That we can do that with this louder section when we get even closer, make it more isolated. But for now, let's see what sounds good. That's what a lot of. I'm not 100% sure on what I want to do with this. What I want this to feel like. What I want this to sound like. Basically, I don't have a purpose in mind. So I'm just kind of playing with what to do here. Now what I do want to do is get a little bit of this high end. That microphone, my NTG1, does not have a whole lot of high end bump. So I'm gonna real quick boost stuff just around this 4 kilohertz frequency that the cricket's chirping at. Just do a real little gentle bump around it, but not including it, because it's loud enough. It doesn't need any help here. Let's turn. Oops, that's the wrong one. Let's turn this guy down a little. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And let's listen without it. With it. Yeah, I kind of like that low end though. I like a little more of that. Yeah, it's a little too rumbly, but let's take it down some more. Just want a hint of it there so it doesn't sound so unnatural. There we go. I think that's right on. That's right on. Okay. And now let's see if we can grab just a little bit of that air conditioner hum out with the little waves plug-in. I like to call X hum. There's a ton of these out there. It's just a structured harmonic sequence. Let's see. I think it's going to be somewhere around here. a structured little set of octaves, basically, harmonic sequence that will help us eliminate anything hummy. So let's invert that. You can hear it kind of coming out as we get close to 50. It's right in between 50 and 60. Actually, you might not be able to hear that, but it's pretty quiet. Okay. So there it is on. Without it. With it. Without it. It's not a huge difference. Oh, I turned the Q all the way down too. So let's make that a little fatter. Oh right, it's all off. Okay, so we want a little gentler curve there. We don't want 60, let's do like 40, I think. Is a good Q value for this guy. And let's see. You know, I'm not sure if I'm hitting the hitting that upper end there. $120, that does sound... That's it. Okay. So we were just an octave low on that. We were doing 60 instead of 120 hertz. So yeah, you can hear. You might be able to hear this distinct little hum. Something like right around there. Here, let me see if I can amplify that for you. Right in here, and it's also carried through here, but in this sequence, this octave sequence. But that sounds pretty solid. And so listen for that. Hum, not hum. So we've between EQing out the low end there and that hum frequency eliminator, that octave sequence, we've kind of gotten rid of a lot of the noise of that air conditioner. So what we're left with here is kind of white noise. You can still hear a little bit, but that's not a bad thing. We don't want to clear out everything. We don't need this to exist in a vacuum, especially since we have two more sections that have a closer mic position. So, you know, I'm happy with this guy. Just the way he is. Or she. A little cricket. I don't know. Can you tell the gender of crickets from their chirp? I kind of doubt it. But maybe you can. Or no, it's temperature. Is that a thing? Is that a thing people do? I don't know. Okay, so here we go. You can tell that we're much closer because our cricket is much louder. So what I'm going to do for these next two, I'm going to leave these the same because this is still working. Let's turn them off real quick and see. Yeah, and I'm going to throw on a real quick compression or something to just bring these peaks down a tiny bit for both of these. So what we're going to do is export this one. And, oops. So we're just going to real quickly render out this guy as, let's call this Cricket Solo Far at 2448. And I recorded this at 2448. I usually record at 2496, but because I was using the DR100, it has a limited capacity. So 48 is really And you know, 48 is good enough. It's playing good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, kids. All right. So because this guy is so much closer, I'm going to actually, in addition to a little bit of compression on that chirp chirp, I'm gonna throw. Yeah, I'm trying to hear the other parts of the sound here. So we do have a nice little extra frequency there. So I'm going to just reduce this by maybe 3.5. 3.5 sounds good. Right on the money, right on the nose, that peak right there. We can hear the other parts of the sound a little better now. It's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, and let's throw on. You know, let's use an Apple plugin, one of those default little guys, just because. And what we're gonna do is really light limiting that comes on immediately, releases really fast. Whatever, knee like that, yeah. And let's just we want it on peak. This at what, negative? We just want this to barely activate, which is why this little guy's handy here. We just want to kind of shorten that peak off, just a touch. You know what? I don't like this now. It's kind of getting a little white noise heavy in the background. Let's leave that there, just a tiny touch down instead. And I'm going to decrease this Q value. To kind of make it take up a little, cut it down a little more of the surrounding frequencies. Yeah. No, that's a little too much. Let's change this to 20. 20 sounds good. Okay. Let's check our EQ again. What happens when we turn these off? We get all kinds of rumbly, noisy wind and handling sound and blah. You know, that's not bad. I would like to get a little more of that white noise out, which might mean removing our compression. Yeah. So the compression lowers the peak value, which in essence, oh, that was a bad choice. Don't click that button. Don't unsolo what we're working on. In essence, raises the noise floor, reduces the peaks, so everything in the background gets a little louder. Let's see. We've got a little too much. Is it this hum again? It doesn't. Oh, what happened to our hum? What happened to our hum? No wonder our hum is back. This was at like 120. Oh, come on. Well, let's reload that 60 hertz hum, pop it up to 120, turn it down. We had a Q of like 24. Let's do that. That's better. Okay. Thought it was okay. We by deleting our, or maybe I reset it accidentally or something. I like where it is now, honestly, which is, you know, basically where we were before I started screwing with it. Okay, let's export this guy as well. So we've got this one, which is Cricket Solo Medium. And we'll move on to cricket solo close. You excited? Because I'm excited. This cricket solo is going to be shredding the walls off. You know, the saying that people say all the time. Did we have any handling noise? No, we're good. Okay. So this one's very similar to the other one. That cricket's a little less harsh. It might be because we included this guy. Just a touch. Let's make this a little broader. Let's make this a little there, down a little. Let's see. Might be too much. Let's keep it at 3. Wow. I'm doing this just to check what's up there. Just a little bit of white noise. Somehow just not as harsh as it was before. Maybe this guy is just a little harsher. We got a good noise floor here to chirp ratio. Noise to chirp. You got to keep your noise to chirp high. I think this one's pretty good. So this is super close, extreme close-up cricket, but we're just gonna call it close versus medium and far. Also, now I would just want to play with this real quick and see what we can do. So this is a noise reduction plugin from Waves. It's good. If you do this, you need it. Or something like it. Let's turn the attack down. Will help kind of smooth over stuff. You can hear the digitization noise and the like in and out of reduction. So if we wanted to clean it up a ton, we would go really high with this. Our threshold, so that the only thing crossing it would be that cricket. But all we really want to do is make it just reduce the background a little tiny bit. I don't think we're going to be able to do it without. Yeah, it's not quite regular enough. So we can't use this the noise. We can't use noise reduction really on it. Uh-oh. Okay, I think we're fine. Let's save. Unrecognized bad time. You're gonna die. That's what it said. You're not gonna have a fun time. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's move on to. I think this is just a simple ambient kind of wide view. Oh, we got a lot of wind in here. This is all the bugs of the night. All the bugs together. From a, third floor? Yeah, third floor of an apartment building. So let's crank this. Let's crank our low pass or our high pass up and get a little shelf action on this to get rid of a good chunk of this noise. 18, yeah, that's pretty good. Stop, why did I move it so much? God. Because it was 2 a.m. and I was on somebody's porch. Oops. Okay. So this has got a lot more kind of motion sound. Sounds like there might be cars way off in the distance. But I do like what's going on overall. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to crank this up even more. I don't even need that shelf. We're just going to cut everything off. There's no low frequency anyway. It's all bugs. Let's get to some of that handling. We don't quite want to cut off that much, but just trying to get an idea of where that balance is of reducing noise but keeping our sound intact, or as close to intact as possible. Let's see. Let's throw our little dupes here, little locators. I'm trying to decide if we need this lower frequency stuff. The bugs are all the insects are up here, so it's not really important to have it, but I feel like we should keep it if we can. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, it looked like it disappeared for a second there. Without it, with it. Okay, we have to have it. We've got wind, we've got handling. We've got too much low stuff to make it even worthwhile making an attempt to keep it up. What else do we have going on here? Ooh, we got a good knock there. Let's go ahead. Quite a few, actually. Let's see. Let's just chop this section out. You know, we'll crossfade it so that our peaks are kind of lined up, because it's rhythmic. You know, it's not really rhythmic, but it's kind of rhythmic with the way them bugs are chirping and crying and calling and cawing. So I'm going to get rid of these really big either wind or handling sounds. And we're going to just boop them together down the... Oh, there's more there. Okay. How bad are these? Let's get rid of both of these. Get out of here. Bumps and wind. And we'll get rid of this one too. Okay. Let's see. So, okay, there we go. Let's take a listen. Let's check all of our transitions. Yep, they're fine. Can't tell they're there. That's good. Let's cut it out here. That car kind of comes in. There we go. That's good. That's a good one. Now, I know this isn't as long as I'd like. This is just over 30 seconds. I'd really like a minute and 30 at least to do an ambience, but it's pretty static. It's pretty similar the whole way across. What I am going to do here is we're going to basically do some uncompression. That is to say, we're going to raise up peaks that go beyond this threshold here. So what I'm going to try to do with this is to just make it a little more contrasting between our overall background noise and the repetitious insect sounds. Let's see. Basically, I'm just eyeballing everything. Normally, I do a little more research, or if this was for a, if I knew what I was doing, basically, I'm just cleaning up stuff right now. I'm not doing this with a end goal in mind. Like I said earlier, I'm not doing this with the goal of, I don't know what feel I want this to go for. I might want it to be a scary night, a calm night, a warm, embracing night. It all depends on how it's going to be used in the end. And, you know, I want to make this middle of the road just cleaned up, and then we can do stuff with it. Okay, we're good with this one. So let's just bring in these locators so we're not exporting a full minute when we only have 30 seconds. So let's call this one nighttime boogie down at 10 bugs. I know, insects, bugs, it's just racism, derogatory terms or something. Insects are not bugs. Bugs are not insects. Or something like that. Just lay off, jeez. Okay. So I think that this is, oh no, this is farther off chirping. I don't know what these bugs are, but they were all in one, insects, sorry. All in one tree. Whew, those puppies are loud. Yeah, this is the close one that I got. So this one's going to be great. Let's work with this one for now. This is the farther back with a ton of other bugs. Oh, never mind. No, it's not. It's just a farther back. This has so much of that air conditioner in it and so much handling noise that I'm going to just ditch it. It's not worth it when we have this much better recording down here. So let's remove that one. Okay. Locusts. I don't know if these are actually locusts. I just called it that. Okay. Again, ton of low end. Bunch of handling noise. We don't need it. Let's cut that before that truck goes by. This is even shorter. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut out a lot of this middle stuff here because we don't need it. It's just noise. I think that's noise from a processing plant's HVAC or something that I was near. Did not think it would come through that much in the recording, but it clearly did. Wow, it's quite noisy. Let's just do this. We'll turn this down a little more, make it a little less sloped there. And 9.5, is that good? That's pretty good. I am also going to throw just a tiny one on that cricket again. This is a different cricket because he's a little higher. He's at 52. Come on. Not the same cricket. What kind of cricket sings at 52? Okay. This is about as good as I'm going to get it, honestly. We've got background noise. This is not a great recording, so we're just going to leave it here. And also that gets a little grating after a while, doesn't it? So we're going to export this one as locus. And we'll move on to our good recording of the chirpy chirps. We've got our locator bars still looping sections for us. Alrighty. So these guys have a very different chirp style. Right at 2 kilohertz. Okay, and let's see. Let's change those locator bars again. We're gonna need our hum eliminator back. So let's go grab our hum, X hum. And it sounded... Ooh, it's not particularly tonal, so we're gonna have to do a sweep. Which is what the inverse thing is for. Let's try 120 again. That is better. It did get rid of some of the pitched. It's kind of a broader spectrum than the smaller air conditioner unit we were dealing with here. I think this is the same building HVAC that we had in whatever that one was. Was it this one? I think it was that wide view one. Anyway, it's that processing plant or whatever building it was had it's less pitched, which means it's harder to get out. I'm gonna do some frequency sweeping. Oh, I really like that. The upper stuff here, but there's so much white noise because we didn't get some clean recordings that it's not worth trying to get those smaller chirps. Let's do just a really small high frequency boost here, like 2. I'm gonna have to suppress a lot of this down. You can really hear it when we're gonna have to find the so there's like cars passing in the background back here. We really need it to be isolated to get this to work out in our favor. Sorry I'm not talking much, I'm just trying to tweak this to get it just right. Because we don't want to have it sound like there's a filter on, like a notch filter, which is what it sounds like. I'm going to turn this off. Okay. That's not bad. I I'm going to make this guy really do the work for us and keep it from being notchy. That's better. Oh, there's a plane. Of course there's a plane. Starting right there. Okay, so we've cut our like 2-3 minute clip down to 45 seconds. These will be useful though. That's the thing. So we want to make these as multi-purpose as possible, and while they're not as long, it means that you're kind of doing a trade-off here, or we're doing a trade-off here. Stop unmuting everything, you idiot. God, I'm being really dumb today. Sorry, folks. So what we really want to do is make these as clean and isolated and simple as possible, so that if we do need to loop them, oh, I didn't export this guy. Let me export chirp close. Oh, I should have underscored. Oh well. Oh well, I use underscores instead of spaces because in some file systems hierarchies, if you use spaces, they get rewritten anyway, and then if you give them a new file, it doesn't work because their file structure is already built and the references are already there. So just use underscores or no spaces at all if you have clients. That's a pro tip. Pro tip. Oh, we have I didn't notice that. You know, we're gonna take out to here. And then we're going to crossfade these two. Wow, we got a lot of this wind noise. Where is that? How is that wind coming through so hard? Is it because we changed this to be so weak? Oh, never mind. I derped that pretty hard. Okay, you know what? Ignore what I just did. Ignore that I had 2 tracks playing at once. Please ignore it. And I have to say that I'm not on top form here. This live streaming thing and recording what I'm working on is really strange to me. And a lot of how I work is I have something in mind in particular that I need to do with it, with the sound that I'm making. I have an end goal of a product, a focused product at the end, so I can keep my head in the game. Like if I was doing these insect sound effects for a horror game or a horror movie or something, I'd have a very different approach than if this was a romantic comedy ambience. So and right now I'm trying to make these as broad spectrum as possible. So I'm really just trying to clean them up, basically. Cut off a little more there, a little more here. So we're gonna have to get out our XHum again, our thing that I'm doing now. And so in general, you want to use noise reduction, like that X-Noise plugin that I went over real quick, as little as possible. If you can eliminate it with a frequency-based or a dynamics-based effect or processing, then do that, because noise reduction is really finicky. It's just not good. Just don't do it. Don't overuse it. Use it in small amounts when you have to, and at very, very low levels, very low amounts of noise reduction, because it does weird quantizing stuff. It changes the nature of your recording and your sound, whereas this stuff is really, really plain, really simple. It's doing exactly what you see it doing. And yeah, just be gentle with noise reduction. That's what I can say. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was looking for that. $115, 120. No, it's under 120. Let's try 116. Let's up this too. Yeah, it is. It's just under 120. As I'm bypassing this, you'll be able to hear it. So with it on, it's much better. I'm going to actually do a second one. Yeah, I know, there's already one there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, soundtrack. I'm going to do this one with a higher Q value. So it's thinner reduction peaks. There's a bit of this lower. Now this you might not be able to hear. There, right in here. It's a little engine noise or motor noise or something. Might be a train in the distance. No, those are generally higher pitched. It might be just a truck engine. Or it might be the HVAC that I was talking about up here. The building HVAC that I was near. This is good though. It's getting there. I think we need to go a little lower with this. Woo. Ooh. Yeah. Let's make these a little gentler since we're doing 2 hums. Don't want to do too much damage to the frequencies. Let's change this to high 20s, yeah. Okay, pretty close together there. Actually, I'm going to need to make this one more. It's not quite cutting out enough of the engine noise. Okay, we're getting there, We're almost there with this guy. Okay, so we've got some more windy wind going, which means I'm going to try to take some more of it out without changing our sound. I think I'm getting yelled at by a cat. Oh, maybe not. Oh. Oh. This is when I was walking in. I am getting yelled at by a cat. It sounds just like Bastet, the cat, but that is Bastet the cat from the window. Right. So this one was recorded right outside of the apartment that I live in. And she was watching me because it's up on a second floor, and I wanted to get a higher, wider view, quote unquote view, to get more of an ambient shot. I say shot. It's not a shot, but it's kind of a shot. Just a wide angle larger picture view. I'm going to cut out this section too, because that is not happy. A lot of these are getting a lot of the bumps and clicks and stuff are getting removed. The handling noise and the wind are coming out with the EQ. And a little bit is okay, just a touch. Let's check these guys. That's too much. And how about over here? Yep, that's also too much. Just a little too much. You know what? That is also, that's not coming out either. Okay, so let's cut that out. We're doing this. Normally you would not. Since I'm. Oh my God, I'm having trouble articulating what I'm saying. That doesn't happen often. Actually, it happens all the time. I go blah 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 words. I lose meaning frequently because my brain is broke. What was I saying? Oh yeah, because this one especially is an ambient shot, ambience, you know, we want no identifiable portions of it. It's okay. That's good. We're good on this one. Okay, we want no identifiable portions, sections of it so that we can loop it as much as possible. Then that means getting rid of all those bumps and ticks that normally we would try to get rid of, but since, again, we're just trying to make this as broad spectrum as possible. Let's call this bugs ambience. Alrighty. So, I'm going to go ahead and clean these up just a tiny bit more. And let's see, I'll probably do a couple different combinations of these and do a couple different looped versions that fill out a little longer. The cicadas are from a previous release, and I thought I might want to throw a little bit of them in. Chirp, 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 chirp. Chirp, 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 chirp. So I may do that, may not. But that I'm going to call it for the live stream and for the recording. So we are set on this. Don't forget to check out the Patreon at patreon.com/GRAEY. That's Gray as in David Gray. And yeah, that's it. I hope I'll see you folks next week. I think we're going to move on and do some music stuff next week. It might just be a walkthrough of a project that I've done or a little more about composing. But this guy I think is a little more informative than previous, and we're just gonna keep going, keep figuring it out. So until next time, thanks. You can check me out